All right, Kenman here, and today is another installment of the All in a Day series. How does that work, Kenman? Well, let's say you are sitting at home. You aren't able to drive anywhere, but you desperately need to cut something. Well, today, our technology and our advancements in life convenience has created this all in one day. I did not know I was going to have this at this point in my life, but earlier today I went on Amazon. I typed in pocket knives. I typed in delivers today, and then you go through the selections. Here it is. I ordered it. I found it, I ordered it, it shipped, it's arrived. I'm doing the unboxing right now, all in one day. I couldn't leave the house, but I had to cut something, but I couldn't use the other 200 knives I have. Here we are, let's get to it. What did I find for us today? It's a buck bag on the floor. We got a buck knife. Buck knives, edge of a legend. Been a little while. I got a few buck knives. We'll look at some of them here in a second. This one was definitely inexpensive. The all in the day varies quite a bit. And I know your location, you might not be able to get this specific one. Times change. I've noticed when I do it on one day, holy cow, it's tiny. On one day, something is available, and another day it is not. Or if you do it later in the day, it might not be available anymore. You do it in the morning, you have more options. Box on the floor. Actually, I might need that. I might have some info for us, potentially. Oh my God, I did not realize that this was as tiny as it is. All right, but mini bag on the floor. You do have quite a few options. Some are nice, some probably are not nice. But if you do want to get a knife and get it that day, go to Amazon or one of your places that you buy things from and see if they have that same day delivery. All right, let's get to it, Kenman. Come on, this thing looks nice. It is small. I'll tell you that, but it does look nice. What do we have here today? This is the Buck 379 Solo. It says right there, Buck 379. And if you look on that stamp, there is a little hash right there. That is the year that it was made. When we look at some other ones, they have different little marks, and you can basically look at any buck knife that you have, and that little stamp on there will tell you what year it is from. That one's probably from this year or last year. Wow, this thing is a tiny little one. Okay, buck knives, what are we looking at? Like I said, this is called the 379 Solo. Solo being because it only has one blade. They have another 379 that I think is like a 2 or a 3 blade design. Who's got one of these? So we have a 420 J2 stainless steel on that blade. Not really sure what the J2, but it's 420 stainless. Standard kind of inexpensive buck steel. We have this cool looking handle. The handle has like a burl wood. They have a couple of options for the types of wood. It's kind of the lighter version of the two. It's got that little buck stamp right there. The pins. Got the brass going on. It is just a slip joint. So there is no locking mechanism. You got your nail nick for your opening. Basically, it's a two-handed working knife. Oh, it's tiny. Little 3-finger. What do we think? Buck Knives does have a lifetime warranty on all their knives. So if you ever have any issue with this, you can send it in. They'll put a new blade on it, fix it, or whatever issues that you might have. Nice little look, though, to it. Simple little knife. No lock to it whatsoever. No jimps. Does feel nice in the hand. It's really small. Actually, I feel like that's a little fairly easy to do that with. It'd be nice if that locked out a little bit more solid, but this is definitely going to be a light use knife. Well, if you've got one of these, what do you use it for? It might be something to carry around, open your letters, cut some tape, or something really simple, but without a lock or anything on there, you know, you can kind of get it shut like that fairly easy. So you got to be careful not to accidentally put too much torque on that. Blade is pretty solid. It has the tiniest little bit of movement to it, but it's almost so minimal that you can't feel it or tell. Blade is not quite centered. You can see, try to find the angle here. You can see it's a little bit to the right. Kind of an interesting, notice it almost drops down. Which hand do I use? This direction, boom. So it almost has kind of a forward, so when you're going in to cut, that it's pushing the blade down into it, might make it cut a little bit easier. It is thin and small. I wonder how slicey and sharp this is right out of the box, or how sharp I can actually get it. Comment below. What do you think about the Buck knives? You enjoy this video? If so, hit like, subscribe if you would like to see more. Okay, what am I missing here? All right. I do like the way that wood looks. It's a really nice little piece. Whenever you get something that's got wood, you never know exactly what you'll end up. You might get a kind of a more boring piece, or maybe one that's a little bit more, got some more burls. This is, like I said, like a burl wood. So you got a few little knots and lines and grooves and stuff in there. So that's the kind of the thing with wood. You don't know. If you're looking at a bunch of them, you can kind of pick one you like. But if you just order one, you never know exactly what you're going to get. But I'm pretty happy with this. That's some nice pieces. It's got a nice natural look to it. I like it. I like it. It's small. Will I get much carry pocket time with this? This could be easily a pretty good fifth pocket. It's short enough that you can kind of still make it disappear into things, right? Bow. So it would be something that I would do as a secondary knife, which, but again, I do want to do some tests with it, make a few cuts, see how it does for just that simple little work. Or maybe this is something, if you got a kid that's just getting into knives or something, that you want something that's not too, I don't know. Sometimes with all the fidget factors and all the things going on, it becomes a little bit much. People have a hard time opening it. When you got something just basic like this, everyone can kind of figure out. They're like, oh, there it is. There's open. Make a little cut. Close it up. I think it's interesting that the buck goes, so when you hold it like this, it says buck, so then you'd flip it like this and you still read the buck. But I kind of see it more as like this would be up and it should say buck that way. Everybody's got different taste, personal opinion. I feel like that buck, I'd like it better the other direction, but well, it's fine. Got to zoom in a lot to get to this one. I, again, sometimes make orders and don't pay attention to numbers as much, and so you look at photos, you just don't know for sure. But had I looked, and it says 5 1/4 inches, you'd be like, okay, yeah, this is tiny all the way across. Blade is, we're looking at 2 1/4 with about a 2-inch cutting surface and just about a 3-inch handle. Not a big one, I'll tell you that. Okay, we're going to go for some width. This is definitely going to be thin. 0.05. It might carry out, yeah, 0.05 out to about there, and then kind of tapers off towards that tip. Very thin. Handle, 0.29, and then 0.40 this way. Most pocket knives, smaller knives, are 0.4 to 0.5 this way, and it's barely even 0.4 that way. It's definitely small. All right, let's get a weight on here. Boom. 0.77. It's the small one, the 379 Solo. This is a tiny, tiny knife. I do all my comparisons with the CJRB Pyrite. Really good, nice, not quite full size EDC user. 3 points. Yeah, this is like almost 3 ounces shorter. Use your words, Kenman. Almost 3 ounces lighter than the Pyrite. This bad boy is. Okay, yeah, CJRB Pyrite button lock is a great EDC user knife. Many different styles to choose from, options down from the $30 light up to like a $200 premium version. So a lot of good stuff going on with the Pyrite. It is not quite full size, but it definitely is giant compared to this Buck 379. Blade, solid inch longer, handle about 1.5 inches. There you have it. Pyrite is great if you don't have one. I definitely recommend it as a good starter base kind of knife. I do have another budget buck right here. This is the Buck 256. So if you look right here, you got your 256 and it's got that little logo. Notice how that logo is a different logo. So this might be the 2024, 2023. I will put a link in the description to Buck Knives. You go to that link, you can take a look and it'll show you all the different logos and little stamps that they put on there. And then you can check for yourself which Buck knife you have and which year it was made. So this one definitely is more of that full size. Nice little simple flipper tab buck knife. This one's still also around that $20 range. Nice little cheap option if you're looking to get into it. The classic, boom, the Buck 110. So look here, this has got the Buck 110, says USA and then a dot on both sides. This is actually showing this one was made between 1974 and 1980, I believe, or maybe it's 1979. Basically, this was made in the years that Kenman was born. Now you got my age right there locked down. But I wanted to get a knife from when I was born. I did some research on the Bucks. The 110 has not changed in a long time. And when I found this one, it's like mint. Look at this. Blade's never really been used. And it's getting close to 50 years old. This is the classic Buck 110. You can go buy one of these for about $65 right now at most places. Really nice knife. Like I said, it hasn't really changed at all in many, many years. But you can see it's huge. It's a big boy. So it definitely dwarfs the 379. Or, is that right? Sure. Another buck that I've got, probably one of my favorite knives of all time, the Buck 119. You can see the little notch. Ooh, that's the same. No, it's different. This one goes up, down, up, and this one goes down, up, down. So I think it's like 2023, 2022 or something like that. But yeah, the Buck 119 made famous in many things, but you've seen it in some horror movies from the 80s. I love this knife. Young Kenman wanted one and never really got one, but adult Kenman, you know I do. Look at how thick that handle is. Buck makes some really cool, interesting things. A lot of variety, a lot of style. Fixed blades, folding blades, lock backs, slip joints. It's a great company. Definitely want to check them out if you don't have one from Buck. This little guy, it's something. I will do some tests with it, see what I think, but it's very small. Great for a smaller size hand, though. Maybe it'd be a good little letter opener, a little fifth pocket carry for you. What bucks do you have? Comment below. Tell me what you think. If you want to watch some of my stuff on my 110, it's right there. And a lot of other stuff coming in the future, more customizations, unboxings, all of the above. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.